Tricia Seaman. I have worked for Pinnacle Health System for about 14 years. About 2011, I moved down to the Oncology unit. Oncology patients are a completely different type of nursing care. You're focused on their physical problems, but you're also focused on their hearts and trying to make what they're going through just as easy as it can be. I met Tricia Summers in March of 2014. I had received a report on my patients, and I looked down and saw her name, and it piqued my interest immediately because it's spelled the same as my own, and you don't see that very often. And I think the first thing that I said to her was, "Hi, I'm Tricia, and I'm going to be your nurse today, and it's going to be really easy to remember your name and you remembering mine because we have the same name."
Just when she walked in the room, it was just an overwhelming feeling of peace, of comfort, like everything's going to be okay, like she's the one. I just knew that she was going to do whatever needed to be done for me.
She has a very rare form of cancer. About 20 cases a year are diagnosed in the United States. It's very, very rare.
My prognosis is terminal. I was told I have probably a month to maybe a year. So no one really knows. We just take it a day at a time.
I wasn't actually assigned to her again after that first day, but every time I was at work, I would check in on her. I just somehow felt just drawn to her. It was pretty clear early on to see that she really had a hard life, that she didn't have a lot of family.
I have an 8-year-old son named Wesley. He's all I got. I told her how my son's father was in and out of his life. He didn't have grandparents. He didn't have aunts or uncles that were in our lives or cousins.
The final day that I saw her, I saw that her particular room number was lit up, that she was being discharged. She said the biopsies came back and it's not very good news.
I was frantic almost inside. I mean, I had been crying, I was upset, and she walked in and I was just blurted out, "Can you take my son if I die? Will you take care of him? Will you raise him?"
I've been a nurse for 20 years, and I can truly say I've never been that floored.
I haven't had occasion in 20 years not to trust my wife's heart. We had gone through a year's process of the Bear Foundation of foster and adoption. Even with having 4 kids, we knew at some point that's a consideration of adding to our family. So we kind of already looked at that aspect of our lives. So when she, contacted me and said, "This is what's going on," I think, what did I say? This is what we have to do.
I just really couldn't get her out of my mind. I mean, all of a sudden I'm thinking about all the possibilities. So I sat down and I wrote her a card.
She talked to her husband, and they're there for me, and they'll do anything I need. And they were really considering, helping me with Wesley, and they wanted to get to know the both of us.
We knew it was going to be a pretty big undertaking. Mm-hmm. And likewise with our children, to make sure that they were 100% in consensus and agreement that this is something we can do and want to do.
We were probably very prepared for it because we were in the foster system originally. However, we were kind of expecting a baby. But then when Mom said she had met another lady, and my first reaction was, let's do it. Why not? We're called to serve people, and there was no second guessing.
Wesley was there with her in the apartment, and she was back in the hospital for a spell and kind of taking at that point it turned for the worse.
They were telling me that I couldn't go home alone. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, well, we're looking into facilities for you and, maybe rehab or nursing home. And, I'm like, I'm 45 years old.
I came home and we talked about it, and it was ultimately Dan that made that decision. He said, I just don't see how, if we're going to become parents to him someday, how we could ever look at him and say, we wanted you, but we couldn't take care of your mom, so we let her go to a nursing home. He said we need to honor his mother and bring her here.
This is amazing grace.
It was the right thing to do for Wesley. It was the right thing to do for Trish, and it was the right thing to do for us. And you don't look back.
We want to teach our kids that it's not about getting stuff all the time. God has blessed us in amazing ways to be able to do this. And it's important to be able to teach them, in turn. There's responsibilities associated with those blessings.
I'm a senior. We're all in high school together now. This is one of the most important years of our lives, and one of the biggest years that we all make decisions about what the rest of our life is going to be like. And this was definitely not a part of it. We never thought it would be a part of it, but we know it's the right thing. We know it was meant to be.
Well, just the situation, it's like this, there's no way it could be a coincidence that this has all fallen together.
She accuses me of bringing my work home with me. She really brought her work home with her.
I seriously did.
But it's more of the work now, it's family.
Yeah.
Tricia and Wesley are family.
I think they're wonderful. I think they answered my prayers. It's been great for him. It's wonderful to see him have siblings and have, a stable, family. And it's everything I ever would have wanted for him. And, I think I'm almost a little jealous. I wish I could stay here, too, for a long time.
Our main priority for now and a very long time to come will be to help Wesley through this process. Our goal right now is to make him as safe and as comfortable as he can possibly be. He knows that he's got people who love him and he has an extended family.
I don't know what I would have done. I really don't know where he would have went. And I would have went kicking and screaming. Now I feel at peace. I feel like when I pass on, everything's going to be okay for him. And I'm very happy.
I was pretty rusty today. I didn't know I was doing an impromptu concert.